Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am your host, the connoisseur of nothing, and today I want to update you on how things are going with my Stribog SP9 A1. This one does now have the A3 tactical lower, so it does now accept Scorpion mags. Went ahead and put the CMC, I think it's CMC, uh, single stage AK trigger. That mag was loaded, but the chamber is empty. Just got done shooting at the range. Also got this short throw safety here. I'm liking it a lot. And this is a little Hogue um, AR grip that I got. It's probably the most vertical grip I have, and it's nice and slim and streamlined. I like it a lot. It fits great. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the channel before, but I have relatively small hands, especially for being a bigger dude. But yeah, I am extremely happy with the A3 tactical lower. Um, I did have some issues at first. That gave me a little bit of buyer's remorse when it very first came in. But since then, man, I have grown in extreme fondness for the Stribog now. It's brought a resurgence to the attention that I pay this firearm, and has opened up the doors to maybe doing some other modifications to it, maybe extending out the rail. I also got one of those Olight cigarettes that I thought would look real snazzy on here, especially if I go ahead and get that extended rail to put on the front of there. But I've also considered maybe getting the SP9A3S. That is one of the roller delayed versions, and that is the shorter roller delayed version as well. The gun is mad fun to shoot, but I don't know what it is about the A3 lower, but the recoil is a lot more substantial with the A3 lower versus what it was with the just the regular standard Stribog lower that accepted the Stribog mags. So with that being said, all of these are just maybes, or at least that is just a maybe. I'm still contemplating what I want to do there, because I have just thought about maybe just getting a shorter barrel. I know those are on the market. Getting a shorter barrel, bring that thing in, making it nice and small and compact, a little bit lighter, so I can go ahead and make that my primary backpack gun. Though I love my M92, she is hefty. She is thick in the hips. And the same goes for that AKV. AKV is hefty too. Stribog isn't light neither, but in comparison to the AKV, and definitely in comparison to the M92, it's far lighter. Far lighter. If you want to go ultimate lightness, probably your best bet's going to be the Scorpion, especially because it's made out of so much polymer. It's really light, and you can get the real small K style Scorpions that'll fit nice and small in a small package. But I don't know. I feel like Scorpions are kind of mainstream. I've always been somebody who chooses, to take the route off the beaten path. I've always been somebody that chose the underdog, the people that were overlooked. And that's kind of what I'm drawn to. I think that's part, other than being super cool in a man's caliber, 7.62 by 39. That's why I like the AKs more than the ARs. A buddy of mine's crazy about ARs. He loves ARs. They do it for him. I like ARs too, but they're not as cool to me as AKs. I get the practicality, softer shooting, lighter ammo, shooting straight over far distances, and all that. But I don't know. I love AK's chamber in 7.62 by 39. There's something special about it to me. But I digress. I'm talking about the Stribog here. I just got done shooting the AKV, and then I shot a few rounds through the Stribog whenever I was done. And that single stage trigger in that Stribog is something, man. It makes the gun way. It gives it an elite feeling. If you've handled cheap tools versus handling more expensive tools, professional grade tools, you will know that Every impact driver ain't the same. Every drill driver ain't the same. There's a noticeable difference in feel, how it just feels in the hand whenever you're dealing with a homeowner grade tool like a Ryobi, which is nothing wrong with our Ryobis. They do a great job, and they make great tools that will last you a lifetime. But there is a difference in feel when you're picking up a Ryobi versus picking up like a Milwaukee or a DeWalt or a Makita. Something that's more on the professional grade end of the scales, and that's the feeling I get with the single stage trigger and that whole grip on that A3 lower on the Stribog now. It gives it a very crisp, professional, slick, streamlined feel to the gun that, I mean, it did have before, but it elevates it to another level. So, I am on the budget end of the scale whenever it comes to getting things. I don't just throw money at an issue and try to make it work. I try to figure out how can I fix this issue without spending an asshole full of money. Would I recommend the A3 lower to somebody who has the Stribog A1 with the flat facing trigger, the one that I had, the later model non-reciprocating bolt handle and all that? Would I just go out and get the A3 lower? Probably not. Probably not. You don't need it. The regular A3 lower is great. The trigger is great. The trigger is crisp. Putting the A3 lower on there, plus an additional trigger, plus you gotta buy an additional safety, plus you gotta buy an additional AR pistol grip if you don't already have one to throw on there. You're looking at an additional, on the low end, you're looking at an additional like $350. And on the high end, you're looking at an additional like $500. So if you don't have any other guns that are going to be chambered using those same magazines, it doesn't really serve a practical point. If you just really hate the curved Stribog magazines, which I've had both. I've had the straight Generation 1 Stribog magazines, didn't have any functionality issues with them at all. No failures to feed, no nothing. Lock back every time. Never a single issue with those magazines as far as functionality goes. Where I did have an issue with those magazines was in the area of I dropped them, feet lips disappeared. Falcon dia, see you later. So other than that, that was the only issue that I had with those magazines. I got the curved magazines, no issues at all with them neither. They're built out of a more sturdier, durable feeling polymer. I've dropped one, no issues with it. I only dropped it one time, but no issues with it. Didn't break or anything like that. And I've seen other people have better results with the curved Stribog magazines versus the straight ones, and they seem to work fine for everybody. So rather than spending an additional $300, $550 on setting up an A3 lower for your Stribog, spend that extra money on more curved magazines, ammo, train. And if you want to trick it out in other ways, you could do that. They make extended rails for the Stribogs now, where you can bring that front rail section out a little further so it looks a little bit more streamlined, so you don't have all that barrel sticking out. You can go ahead and buy a shorter barrel. If you got the A3S, just spend that money on a nice optic. Set it up. I got that big old Romeo 7. I like how it looks on there. You may not. You may want something that's a little bit smaller, like a RMR. Holosun makes a lot of good small pistol optics you can throw on there. Sig makes a lot of good ones too. So options are endless. But if you don't have another gun that's going to be using those Scorpion mags, maybe you don't need it, to be honest with you. But I'm happy with the purchase. I can use the same magazines in my Stribog as I can with my AKV. One issue that I am having with Scorpion mags is the Scorpion P mags, the drums. One of my friends got one for me as a birthday gift. It will not work with the A3 lower. The reason being is because on the A3 lower, the mag well is flared out to assist in feeding magazines in there. If you want to go ahead and get that magazine to work with the A3 lower, you're going to have to cut down those you're going to have to cut down that mag well. You have to get rid of those flares. Either maybe just sand them flat, or if that's not enough, you're going to have to sand some down and bring it up higher so that that magazine will clear whenever it's all the way inserted in there. I have seen that it does work with the AKV. I got it to work with the AKV, but it doesn't work with the most confidence. It's best to go ahead and insert it while the bolt is locked back. Make sure you give it a real good shove and a real good tap to get it to stay in there. Because I did go ahead and put it in there with the bolt slammed forward, gave it a good smack, rack, bang, drop. So it only happened one time, but just inserting it if you do have a chance to insert one, you will feel that you are at the very limits of this magazine fitting in there. Again, because the AKV does also have a flared mag well, so that flared mag well is going to interfere with the drum magazines. If the neck was a little bit longer on the drum magazine, wouldn't be an issue, but that's not the case. And you can extend the neck on the drum magazine. So your only options are shave some of the mag well down. Other than that, everything else went fine. Everything else went great. Very happy with these two purchases. Let me know what y'all think. Have any of you dwelled into the A3 tactical lowers or the other Scorpion lowers like the Lingle? Or the other lowers like the Glock lowers? I know Stribog came out with their own Glock lower. There is a lower that takes Colt mags. There's a bunch of different lowers because people have grown a fondness to these Stribogs, and there was a lot of issues with the first two generations of magazines, but it does look like they cleared them up with this third generation. Like I said, I have the round curve ones, no problems at all. They work great. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you have any questions, shoot them down below. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.